Hey guys, Sven back again. So in the last video that I made for you in this hotel room, because I have no time for making videos at home right now because I'm touring like every day, and I have other duties at home, so it's not. I try to do some videos old school without my equip, just the cell and me. So in the last video like this, I showed you the raise within a minor chord from the fifth to the flat six, or even to the natural six over the flat six, and maybe even to the seventh. And now I want to show you the typical descent that happens on a minor chord. So in this video we're talking about the, Stairway to Heaven thing, or in jazz music, the My Funny Valentine progression that happens all the time in all the songs. And I want to show you some ways to play it that are also handy for playing La Pompe in gypsy jazz, and what you can do in swing or in a ballad if you want to point out these movements in a beautiful way. So, and the last lesson was in the key of A minor, so I will do it also in the key of A minor, but I sometimes will show you other keys so that you see that some movements might be hard up here in the lower position, but they end up easy in the higher positions. So, of course, the most obvious one is on the upper three strings, and you probably all know about that. Playing the A minor triad here with the index like C, E, A, and then letting the melody move from A to G sharp, to G, and to F sharp. Short explanation, I'm saying G sharp and F sharp because the notes in the context of A minor are called here G sharp and F sharp because it comes out of the world of A minor, and there is no A flat and there is no G flat. So we would think like G sharp because this is like the third of the dominant chord of A minor, of E dominant 7, and we would say F sharp because F sharp is the natural 6 of A minor. So if I would only look at the melody, of course you're right, it would be like A flat, G, G flat, but in that case it's better to name it A, G sharp, G and F sharp anyway. So this is probably the most handy thing, moving from here to here to here. Then you have to, change position for using the index on the F sharp, and then I bend my ring finger, and lots of players also bend their middle finger. I think when I use my ring finger, my hand is more relaxed and flexible. I mean, this is also, it's both fine. Doesn't matter actually what you prefer. There are a lot of ways to play chords differently. I mean, this one is probably not so good because you can't use your pinky really handy, but this one and this one is both fine. So if you want to play that in La Pompe, you have the problem that the movement is going to start on the first string you're about to play, and also you're lacking the lower strings, which are very important for the sound of La Pompe in gypsy jazz. So the most easy option here would be playing actually the bar chord, which is not played so much in gypsy jazz, but it's one option. So you can play like, wrong string. So I would play like the bar chord here, then I would change I would put away the pinky and play the G sharp with the middle finger. Then you can just remove the middle finger or even leave the bar position here and then play A minor 6. But in both cases the A string would be muted here. You would have like A, F sharp, and again the little bar chord up here. So this is pretty handy. So what I do, I play all of it in a non-bar position. So I use my thumb for the A and play the chord like this. So this chord lacks the high E string, which is super because the high E string is not such a good sound on that chord in gypsy jazz. It's better to play it up to the fifth. So, and then I'm just letting, the movement happen. And this has the advantage that when I play it, I do not have to change my position from normal position to bar chord. Let's say we have a 2-5 and I play. So everything is in this very comfortable hand position. I could even play that in a song like Minor Swing. I wouldn't start with it probably, but I would start with the A minor. if you're playing Bossa Dorado, for example, and you're playing part B, you can go like, and I go like, so I'm letting this movement happen a lot because it's a nice movement, happens in a lot of chords and a lot of songs. You know, not only like, my funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, maybe like here, but there's also just like a whole couple of songs, you know, like blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see, stuff like that, you know, happens all the time. So now there are some beautiful options to really play it on the low string, and this is especially cool for ballads. I'm talking about stuff like this, and then you can go to the F chord, and this is really beautiful. So one easy option is like playing A minor, and now I'm not only changing the bass note, which would not be so cool because then I have G sharp and G in the same chord. It's also working, but yeah. What I do is I play A minor, and then for the next chord I play G sharp dim, for example, or E major with G sharp in the bass. So that sounds good. In case of the dim chord, I need to play a little bar chord here in the 3rd fret, covering D to B string. So it's like F, B flat, and D, and then the index is playing G sharp, and the ring finger is playing natural B. And it's still working like my funny Valentine. Then I go back to A minor. 2 possible ways. One is like playing this, so I'm going back to the same A minor 7 voicing that we had before. Here the bar chord from the D to the B string, playing it like this over the pinky, whatever you prefer. Or I'm going, you know, change position and play it with the pinky or with the thumb, and playing the regular A minor campfire chord, like my funny Valentine, sweet comic, and then the last chord could be like A minor again with F sharp in the bass, which is pretty common, you know, F sharp half diminished. It could also be D major with F sharp in the bass, also nice. Like check out both with the vocals, like my funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine. It's working. Like you make me smile within my heart. You know, and you can also do like my funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, also working. So we got the A minor, then we got G sharp diminished, or E with G sharp in the bass, A minor with G in the bass, this way or this way, and then A minor with F sharp in the bass, which is basically the same chord, then F sharp half diminished, or D major with F sharp in the bass. If we continue, for example, and we want to go to F, you could play any F. Like this is more or less D minor with F in the bass, or F6, whatever you want to like to call it. You could play F6 also like this, you know, having the F here on the D string instead of the open D. C, open D, F. You can play the Gypsy voicing, basically the same chord, adding the C, and then playing the root with the thumb. A lot of options. You could play some flamenco chord, playing the F bar chord and leaving open B and E, so to make it an F major 7 raised 11. This is also beautiful, like blue sky smiling at me, and then this song continues differently, but you know, my funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile within my heart. Very nice. So you can do that. Also in La Pompe it's very cool to play like it's also working. And this is also working, of course, on the A string. When we play that on the A string, I will play it in D minor, so we don't have to go up here to the 12th fret. So in D minor, you could again use the bar chord, for example, or you can even play D minor 7. This would be the same thing, like D minor 7 in the very normal jazz way, with G, F, actually C and F. Then going to C sharp dim with C sharp, G, B flat and E. Moving it down to D minor with C in the bass. It's just you can play the D string or leave it. Most of the time when I play pump, I leave it. I mean, the F belongs here, but if you leave it, all that remains is a C octave plus F. But that doesn't matter, because in the movement, you know, you always have the D minor in the ear, so it doesn't matter that the F is missing here. And then you go to B half diminished, or in that case it would be D minor. Here's the D minor triad, F, A, and the root on the B string, and that will be the bass. So you can do the same, like my funny Valentine, sweet coming Valentine, you make me smile within my heart, stuff like that, you know. And this is also, you can play it with very easy voicings if you leave out the index on the minor chord. So you got this one can be played fully, the diminished chord of C sharp, G, B flat, and D, you know. But this is also a good thing to do it. And from the A string, if you just want to let the melody line just, you know, descend, then the most easy way is just to play D minor and then let the melody move on the G string. It's not so easy because you have to switch fingers in certain ways. You know, you can play it like this. You can play it with a bended middle finger. In that case, I'm playing C sharp and F with my second finger. Then you can play it with the same voicing, that's the advantage. But this bended middle finger, for some players, it's not comfortable. So you can switch fingers and play it with two fingers. Then I would play the bar chord and leave out the middle finger, so that you end up playing D minor 7 with a strange fingering, but it's handy here. And then you have to take the root with the middle finger and then play the never be here. So that might be a bit more difficult to play, so to say, you know. And these are basically the first options that comes to my mind. I hope that helped you and that you can, you know, play it in your ballads and stuff like that. Subscribe to my channel, there's tons of material there. A lot of great players, a lot of performances, live performances, but also lessons. And I hope that helped you to get more into the way of gypsy jazz. This was Sven Jungbeck for you. Bye.